In this video, we will look into the vendor fields unlock process. We will talk about the business trigger, the data. We will look at the process in the idea screens, the output of the process, and also any dependent processes and exceptions. As for the trigger, we need to do the vendor fields unlocking whenever the vendor lock process is in use in the company. And we need particular fields within the vendor master to be open for editing without having to unlock the vendor. So say for example, we have a vendor that is locked. All fields are locked, particularly say the bank tab is locked and you cannot make changes to it unless the vendor is unlocked. But as for the vendor name abbreviation, you might want to leave that open for editing, or perhaps the payment type or the payment terms. In that case, it comes in handy to be able to leave those fields as editable, unlocked, so that users can make changes. Regarding the data involved, there is no particular data we need to know. All we have to know is what fields we want to unlock. The process is we have to go to the AP module, then to vendor, then to vendor fields unlock process, and then once there we select the fields to unlock, and when we save, that's all that is required. So let's look at the process in the idea screens. So we go to vendor menu here in the accounts payable module. We go to fields unlock. And here we can go ahead and search what fields we want to unlock. So say in this case we're going to lock the vendor abbreviation. We're going to unlock the vendor abbreviation. And at that point the field is available to edit. If we had many fields that we added to being unlocked, we can look at a report here that's going to list all the fields with their description and alternate description. After the process then, the vendor field is now unlocked and we can make changes to it on all vendors that have been locked. So this is important to know. When we unlock the field, all vendors who have been locked, that field will be unlocked for them and we can make changes to that field without having to unlock the vendor, the whole vendor record. What this means then is a dependent process is the vendor maintenance and setup process. For vendors that have been locked, the fields are now unlocked, the ones that we selected, and can be changed, changes can be made on them. So let's look at that in idea. If we go to vendor maintenance and we select the vendor that has been locked, we get a message that states that the vendor has been locked and we can make changes only to the fields that have been unlocked. In this case, we unlock the abbreviation field so we can make changes here. This process only applies to companies where we're using the lock vendors functionality. It doesn't apply when that function is not used. Thank you for viewing this video guide on vendor fields unlock process.